everyone, and welcome back to my channel here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and especially, the beach and the ocean, the sun, the sunshine, the plasma ray frequency, and happy 6-6 portal. Okay, but here we are totally in different dimension, guys. Things are totally we are in total different stratosphere, hemisphere. The energies of the plasma ray frequencies, right? The crystalline consciousness, I talk about the stupa, the new earth grid, this all being pretty much set in extremely high frequency dimensions. So if you're doing the inner work, transformational work, right? Here I talk about the vimanas, here the stupa, the crystalline technology, and all this transformational work, reformational work, right? Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha. So now the new renaissance, right? These energies are upon us, and entering the new golden age in Aquarius, right? Thank you, Saint Germain, with the Violet flame. We're the Violet flame in action, and we are serving the light divine and the law of one, the cosmic sovereign law. And here we are bringing the galactic codex here for the divine justice, and for the divine justice. And here we have the protocols, right, for the ashram, that's where the ground crew, the Ashtar Galactic Command here to help my soul group, and help the elite, the power elite, with their rehabilitation, their hologram, their consciousness, their DNA, okay, from all these terroristic organizations, from DARPA, Octopus, Hydra, and so on, the whole Nazi neurolink, right? Because of the Nazi background, and I have that connection of Nephilim, of Nazi, of hybrid Anunnaki, and info Alpha Draconis, and all this sorcery, the black magic, this kind of weird, the volunteer souls hopping into these DNA bodies here, have this human experience and transmute the karma of those ancestors, and of course of that hybridization. So we're dealing with negative aliens with their highly advanced technology and extremely high densities, right? And we're dealing with the planetary system, with this galaxy, right? Also the planetary corporations, the whole SSP, and the psyops, the black ops, the psychological operations, okay, the misusing highly advanced technology, right? The black magicians there in DARPA. So we're arresting all these energies, and we have a project, right, for you, for the military, including the Q. And because it's time to grow, time to evolve, to expand our consciousness, heal the divine feminine, heal our trauma, drama, from all these post wars, right? All these wars with all these proxy wars with proxy Israel, and all these cataclysm, and all this genocide and eugenics, and all these death camps or concentration camps, and gas chambers. And I'm also dealing with that lineage. Those are children actually from Jewish family, right? Whether from Poland, from Eastern Europe, who actually saw their parents being killed, right? They were in death camp being killed, or they were taken from their homes, right? They were hiding there and taken to the Nibiru military bases. They were taken to Moon, Mars, Saturn, and so on. They were groomed. They had genetically modified, right, with the Enki DNA overlays. They were brutally abused and violated, right? And with all these chips, nanobus, nanotechnology, and under the reptilian hypnosis. And then they're like the elite, they're the Mossad, the Zionists, and so on, and then wreaking havoc here in this solar system, here in this also on the surface of the planet, the underground military bases, right? The deep underground military bases, with all this sex slave going on, and of course the planetary corporation, especially the Moon, Mars there, with galactic child sex trafficking, and this whole MK Ultra Monarch and Montauk, and so this is kind of the energy that I've been exposed to. I've been also studying and transforming because of the interesting rituals that happened to me, right? The whole sodomy and the SRA, satanic ritual abuses there in the US military here, with those guys who extremely highly advanced, but they're programmed, they're mind controlled, direct programming, and then drafted to those dark projects, to the terroristic organizations, right? And so yeah, that's kind of with all these electronic implants. So because they were making a marine or super soldier, assassin or terrorist out of me. Well, I was in my early 30s, so no thank you. I know, understand, I'm of that bloodline that they're using for the the power elite and for the high echelon, for the Mossad, the Zionist, and so on. But no, we're the star seeds, and right, we're changing the changing of the guards. The tables are turning, right? And yeah, time to heal. So that's why they have the ashram, right? The project from the Ashtar. We have the ground crew, and we're establishing the Galactic Codex, the Law of One, the Cosmic Sovereign Law coming online, because the cosmic gamma ray frequencies, the plasma platonic light is it's all penetrating here. We're being inundated by extremely highly advanced energies from cosmos because of the cosmic portals opening and so on. And it's time for us to heal, right? To reconcile, to choose peace, harmony, unity, Christosophia consciousness. So welcome, guys. I have this beautiful actually protocol. Like I said, I'll be working on that yoga and meditation for my soul group, Marines for DARPA, right? And so very important to the shadow work. We're training dark arts, and this is just part of that lineage, the Saturnian lineage. I was born on Saturday, right? And of course, everything needs to be brought to divine justice, especially their so-called secret societies, the OTO, the Ordo Templi Orientis, the kind of Luciferian Templars, right? With all this Kabbalistic demonology, right? The kind of black mass sexual rituals that actually were performing here in the US military bases, those ladies who were raped, violated, tortured, killed, right? So this all being brought to divine justice, of course, cosmic trials, okay, it is what it is. And we have a rehab. They need to rehabilitate their DNA, their consciousness, their hologram. Time to face the fears. And I understand so many of that, it was done so brutally, and through the misuse, abuse of highly advanced technology, right? The DARPA, we talk about how they're knocking out the God code, the God gene in those guys in military with all these CCP jabs, right? They want to delete the VMAT2, call it knockout, and they want to disconnect us from God, from source. That's the agenda, right? And that's how you create terrorists and psychopaths and murderers and killers and rapists. The way they can also control their addictions, right? And we talk about the mind control, MK Ultra Monarch and Montauk, and they're even controlling, like I said, controlling their addictions, everything. And they're nothing but property. Look, human cloning, cDNA, patented humans, they are done through CRISPR technology. And of course, they're doing all kinds of the psychological operations, right? The electronic, they have electronic harassment. They have all kinds of implants, right? They hack your DNA, all these the intracorporeal communication, right? They plug you to the internet of all things. So that's why we are exposing all that on that galactic level, right? We've been dealing with the galactic wars for millions of years with all this transhumanism, transgenderism, and the eugenics, and how the DNA mutation, hybridization has been happening for quite some time. And humanity were, of course, dismantled from their etheric DNA as well. So the angelic divine luminous rays, right, it's all kicking in, coming online, the 5-star humans with a potential of 12 strands of DNA, right? So this is all happening, especially those who done the inner work, transformational work, who were choosing love, forgiveness, and who were walking those energies of love and faith and trust and grace and gratitude and compassion. They are feeling the difference, right? Because we are in these higher dimensions now, right? Like I said, the 6-6, kind of portal, right? This is all happening for us to finally neutralize these energies was now transpiring what is happening, the shadow, right? Even Donald Trump is experiencing all kinds of interesting things, all these trials and all these injustices, right? So this is happening on all levels here, physical, material, you know, the 5D, right? But here we're dealing with the galactic level. So that's why the Galactic Codex, implemented Galactic Codex, understand your rights, understand your inheritance, understand the galactic history, understand your true history, but also understand your lineage. Where are you coming from? What is your mission? Why did you come here to this planet, right? What are your gifts and talents? What is your passion, right? How do you want to contribute to creating this new earth? Very important for all of us to do it on that, personal level, right? Family level, of course you have your work, you have your neighbors and so on, and then we're doing it collectively on that planetary scale, right? So very important for all of us to be engaged in some kind of energy work, healing work, transformational work, and start understanding who we truly are. And that's how we are freeing ourselves from that matrix of those black magicians, right? It was run by AI, all these virtual realities, computer simulation, and that's what is happening. Those guys, all these recruitments, initiations into the dark magic, the satanic ritual abuses, how they are disconnected from their soul because of they're targeting the VMAT gene in their gene pool. They want to eliminate the soul. They want to destroy their connection with God, right? They want to delete the God code in their DNA. That's the call. That's the goal, right, of the DOD, of DARPA actually, and just kind of totally knock it out. And then they're diagnosing those guys with schizophrenia. That's what happened to me, right? They put you to those psychiatric whatever institution, and all these horrible things happening, all this black magic happening, SRA happening in the astral plane, but also in that physical plane. I had this huge big bleeding going on there in an ambulance hospital. They probably gave me all kinds of drugs. They totally messed me up. And then there was so-called the day where they totally turn off the light in that room. They make sure nobody's in that room, and those certain individuals, right, from DARPA, from CIA, right, those black magicians, those dark avatars, digital avatars, all this sorcery going on, they came in their so-called shadow bodies and just totally mutilated and destroyed this body. And of course then in the morning they were testing my temperature, and even that black woman with that black man, right, from military, they were just wondering how come that my temperature is fine. They wanted to give me a flu shot and just totally destroy the body. And the guy from the Scorpio tattoo, right, he was like, oh my goodness, she survived, she's still alive. So they knew, you guys knew, you knew that this is a psychological operation and you're supposed to destroy this individual. So this is all going to divine justice, all these sex games in the military, the military games, right, the chess games and so on. And it's just, time for truth. That's why also the WikiLeaks, the Julian Assange, that's all needs to be, it needs to be addressed. Okay, what the US military was doing there, and those guys, how they are mind controlled, this direct programming and totally being told lies. Wrong address. Those guys went to Iraq, Afghanistan, to homes of normal people, right? And because DARPA, the AI, the echelon, the black magicians, the power elite were just telling them lies, all these psychological operations going on, right? And so they need healing. So that's why the ashram, the healing centers, yoga, meditation, the Ayurveda food, Ayurveda diet, being in nature, just to kind of re-energize their DNA and their consciousness, right? Kind of correct their hologram, their thinking and so on through drumming and the sound, that healing, listening to solfeggio tones, and writing things down, right? PTSD time to heal, so you can find everything on that Guardian Ascension protocol, right? And aligning with the loved ones and understanding the energies, and time to face and demystify the fear, because the true DNA of the angelic divine luminous race was it was wired with the God code, and also wired with faith. And so how come so many people don't believe in God, that they want to have nothing to do with their soul? What in the world is going on? Is done through GMO, through AI, fluoride in the water, right? And you know, this kind of these things, right, especially in the military base, all this splitter technology, right, all these moon satellites with the false magnetism, and those guys, how, you know, they're abused, violated there, and tortured, and all this suicide rate going on, and help veterans, help those wounded veterans. I'm introducing yoga to military, and you got a backlash right now from DARPA, from the black magicians, right? It's and my soul group right there, carrying out the agenda of those negative aliens. And it's just like, wow, what in the world has been happening for so long? Now it's transpiring, so time to make the end, right? So we have the project, we have the platform for you to heal, to start speaking your truth, start addressing those things, right? Those bija mantras. That's why, you know, tantra yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga, devotion, dedication to the divine, dismantling the Nazi neurolink, right? Dismantling the programming from that subconscious mind that actually is so much more powerful, right? So when they put some chip insert right into that 9D, that's, you know, atlas area right there, so it's like a 40,000 data per bit, right, compared to conscious mind, which is maybe 20 through to 25 to 35 bits of data, right, in that moment. So this is you see how that deprogramming is a must, even though we're conscious of our fear or conscious of our addiction. The Armageddon software programming, right, through AI, I mean the crucifixion implants and the Zeta seals and the 66 seal and so on. And today, right, we're dismantling all that. We're bringing everything into that divine neutrality, God matrix, the source of our genesis, right? We're harmonizing these energies. So that's why the integration of the shadow, or the polarity integration, I mean transmuting the shadow, addressing the fears is a must. Okay, so we are training dark arts. Look, I represent the Cabal hierarchy, or the bloodline, the Illuminati bloodline, the Luciferian bloodline, the whole black magic thing, the sorcerer thing, right, the Nephilim, right? But here the volunteer souls, the kind of the Oraphim races, right, with already 24 strands of DNA. That's how we're able to override the structure of the archons 10D, 11D, right? You know, and the arachnoids, okay, and especially vicious alien races from another fallen peril matrix, the Visa system, and so on. So that's been a huge big deal. And you know, Ashtar Command, you know, they've been helping us, and of course the Andromeda, right? They also recruited me. They kind of instructed me. You know, the entire MC, right, is under the Law of One, under the Galactic Codex, is under you know, the Andromeda Council is you know, they're hosting the Ascension for those guys who were tortured and who were extremely violated and drafted for those dark projects. And there are very delicate, beautiful souls, from whether it's from Pleiades, from Andromeda, from Arcturus, from Sirius, and so on, right? Those are they're star seeds, they're indigo warriors, and you know, they were serving the agenda of those negative aliens in Hydra. They were in Hydra, in Octopus, right, in DARPA, and so on. So that's all needs to be brought into divine justice. And so let's go ahead, demystify and dismantle the fears. Very important to explore them. So this is the fear core removal program from Lisa Renee, and that's going to be part of that yoga and meditation for my soul group, for the Marines, for DARPA, for the high echelon, for the power elite, right? And they're of course behind also the letter 17, the Q, and so on, because you know, energy is energy. You cannot dismantle energies and be hiding and faking things and pretending, right? So the ego needs to go, dismantling of this huge big ego, the reptilian conscience, it's a must. And you know, the Holy Mother, Divine Mother, these energies are coming online so that the divine masculine can be reborn as well, from all this healing from that mind control, right? The crucifixion implants, the direct programming, you know, the Zeta seals, the tailbone seals as well, right? Through all this sodomy, sorcery, torture. We talk about the SRA, right? In military basis and so on, how they are dragging that sexual energy, right, instead of going inhalation up, right, and exhalation down this way, right? They're just dragging that energy and making you a vampire and making you a terrorist and psychopath and black magician, right? The body, they prepare the body for entity abduction, entity possession. That's how they're preparing the body, right? Through those satanic ritual abuses, the SRA, raping people, military, females or male. And so the normal circulation is impinged in central nervous system, right? That's how the AI, they're invading your central nervous system, your spine, your cerebrospinal fluids, and so on. That's the AI red wave false timeline perception. And those guys ended up in virtual realities, and they totally get out of touch with their soul, with connection from God, right? As well, these, Antifa, what is the anarchist, all these terroristic organization, the Hamas, the Hezbollah, right? The whole Mossad thing, Zionists, and so on, right? They're doing it through, whether it's through CCP jets, planetary corporations, right? And what is the moon, Mars, Saturn, right? All kinds of experimentation also happening in Pluto and so on, the Niburian military bases. So this all needs to be addressed, and and so and also they're reversing the currents to generate reversal drug on sexual organs, all this sex misery, and they're hooked to the Baphomet network, right? Worshipping that black magic, witches with all this witchcrafting and voodoo and sodomy, right? So that, and then they want to have they want to have relationship. They are in love. They want to have relationship. They want to have children, right? I mean, I have hybrid children. I have a agreement with Zetas, right? We have the Zeta treaties there in Congress, all happening behind the back of Dwight Eisenhower in 1950s, and even before that, the contracts in 1930s, before the World War II, right? Also in the United States as well. So this all needs to be addressed. It's all coming online, right? So really understanding your platform, understanding yourself, your mission, who you truly are, having that project either ready or working on it, having some platform. To me, it's a must to bring all the pieces together, right? And of course on that individual level, so we can also bring in collectively on that planetary level those who are here, sign up for the planetary, helping with the planetary ascension, with the planetary liberation, with consciousness expansion, because the evolution is imminent. Okay, and those, of course, of that Melchizedek order, the universal Melchizedek order, been working with guardian Yahshua, right? Yahshua, Jesus Christ, D12, right? He was part of the priesthood as well, the Melchizedek. And it's all the law of one, the universal laws, the universal law codex, right? The 13 principles of natural law, how is also very important to understand that. And so that creates all these, these reversals, right? The AI red wave frequency, right? How they totally desecrate your aura, energy field, your chakras. And that's what happened to me, right? And they're hooking you to AI, the Internet of all things. And you just become black goo, in the electrostatic body, in that fallen tree of life. And so it creates black flower, the Baphomet pulses to draw anti-herogamic bindings, so that's why those guys are married to girls they would never marry, right? They have children there, that's how it what was it, somewhere in Syria, right? Those whether ladies from America or from Germany, from Britain, right? So the whole Islamification thing going on, right? So the girls, they want to be like the pure Muslim, and that they are dragged, and they are then married to those terrorists, and some of those guys also coming from Europe, from America, right? So we have a platform for them to deprogram, to rewire their subconscious mind, and to heal their light body, okay, and to finally get back on track. And this whole anti-herogamic bindings, false partner powers like Azazel, or this black Lilith, right, going on there, this black witches there in military bases, they're responsible for all these satanic ritual abuses, from this sex rape, the sex abuse and so on, and they're hiding, but no more, right? I even received the text from the St. Mary's, Georgia, all kinds of things happening there with all these GG stones there and these underground military bases, okay, to Montauk, right, to New York, with all these jump rooms to Mars or Moon, and the sister facility in Jacksonville, Florida. So and with all these male witches there kind of flying on their broom. I mean, they have, I mean, you know, in the astral plane, guys, the astral plane, this is incredible. And now things are transpiring. Those who read energies, right? I mean, because the cosmic energies, they're fusing here with these energies here on Earth, and everything that's been transpiring with the Armageddon software, with those Megiddo battles and so on. So those who read energies, right? Things are here transpiring right in front of our eyes. So it's time to face the fears, dismantle them, and demystify the fears. Okay. So time to explore them, guys, and understand the fear. Why? And the nature of reality, because that brings more clarity, consciousness expansion, right? That's how we are evolving, growing, instead of all this sugar-coatedness and, you know, just this falseness, those white lies. It's not working because the darkness, it's now evident. Okay, so now to be true spiritual warriors, right? The system busters, I mean, the true Christos Essene Templars, right? When we are facing the truth, understanding the truth, demystifying the truth, actually even befriending the truth, because those are tools for us to heal, to recognize, to forgive, right? And to put all the pieces back together. So actually being thankful and grateful for the lessons that we are learning, and being aware of those fears. That's how we are being more aware of our true nature, who we truly are, instead of all this plastering, you know, of that fallen tree of life over us, right? You know, this whole Armageddon software thing with anti-life, anti-Christ, anti-human cause, all this death culture, and all this crucifixion implants and so on, the splitter technology when you enter military, right? On this military bases hooked to AI, and the black magic grid, and the GG stones there, and fluoride water, and CCP jabs, and how those guys are abused and violated, torture, and then being initiated right into you know, the initiating into those terroristic organizations, into those dark projects, right? That's all going to divine justice. So very important to understand the specifics, guys, of those fears, right? Write it down, understand the nature, and understand a nature, so more and more is being revealed, right? For you to really recognize all that, embrace that, and integrate it back into light. That's the transformational work that, you know, this is the platform that I'm forming for my soul group. Okay. And so of course, you know, the meditation, when you sit comfortably somewhere uninterrupted, right? Taking a deep breath, guys, start learning how to calm down, and all these uncontrollable triggers, right? Because of all this horrible abuse, and because of being on drugs and steroids, and being programmed and mind control and terrorized and tortured, right? Start being aware of your breath, you know, and just go deep within, you know, the middle of the brain, the pineal gland resides. That's how you can reconnect, you know, with your higher self, or ask for help, right? We have the Ashtar Galactic Command, we have the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans on their spaceships with their highly advanced technologies, right? That they're healing us, sending these beautiful frequencies, right? It's like a beautiful beam technology, and that's how they were rewiring me and healing my brain, and fusing the right hemisphere with the left hemisphere of the brain, because of the, you know, crazy initiations from DARPA, black magicians, even the psychiatric institution, what was done there to me. I totally still you know, recognize those individuals, and kind of see, you know, what was that all about, who is who, and so on. So that's, you know, the journaling was very helpful, and for me working on the project and making those videos, even though nobody is watching it, right? But I know that you know, the Ashtar, I mean, the Galactics, the Pleiadians, you know, the Andromeda, they're constantly sending me these healing frequency. They're thanking me. So this is an important thing that's happening. And also I'm praying for Lisa Renee, that her material, right, that she's been censored since 2010, and how really powerful her tools are. This whole Ascension glossary, extremely powerful, and you know, so helpful for me just to demystify my fears and everything that happened, right, in the military bases and being with the high-ranking military officers, whether the Army or the MC, the Marine Corps, right? And this whole witch hunt. Like even Donald Trump, right, in his case and his trials and what he's going through, and he's I'm sure learning his lesson, expanding his consciousness, and how it used to is no more how it used to be in New York with his Trump towers, right, with this huge big ego and so on. And of course he had these kind of experiences, right, on that island and so on, but he recognized how horrible that is, right? So we're all going through all kinds of tests, initiations, and conscious expansion, because the negative ones, right, the high echelon, they're hiding behind all this secrecy and this Bohemian Grove, and they're really Kabbalistic initiation, Kabbalistic and carnivore, and how you say that being cannibal, right? It's some kind of restaurants and all this spirit cooking and so on. I mean, this all is dismantling. This is no more. That was for the draconians, for the hybrid, for the reptilians, kind of. They wanted to terraform the earth and just totally destroy the angelic divine luminous race, right? So we're identifying with the fear is very important, and bringing it to the surface, getting in touch with that fear, right? Maybe start talking to those fears instead of constantly escaping and drinking and being on drugs and not facing it, really just strengthening yourself within your heart, right? That's why the love, the compassion, forgiveness, so important. The gratitude, the grace, right? The galactic codex, so important, because that's how you can then harmonize and dismantle those fears. You can face them and you can integrate them back into light, right? So you start noticing, like, what are you experiencing when you start facing those fears? What are you noticing, right? The forgiveness coming back online. Start notice your tightness and, where's your resistance. Pay attention to any relating feelings and sensations, right? That's why we talk also about the Vipassana meditation, all these retreats there in silence, right? The silent retreats, 10-11 days, no computers, no cell phones, nothing, only sensations. Nobody's really talking to each other. You have your notebook and you're writing things down. There is probably a vegetarian diet. You get 3 meals a day, okay? And so I met a couple of individuals, and they did that retreat, and after returning, oh my goodness, they were so happy. It can feel maybe challenging, but I've been to a couple of yoga retreats. I've been to 3 ashrams actually, and to one of them I returned for a little bit more, right? Because that's my lifestyle, like yoga. You don't make something out of me that I'm not, So again, we're bringing the yoga, the Ayurveda here to military, to those guys, my cell group, for their rehabilitation, for their healing, getting again back on track, to connect with their soul, right? To start understanding how to relate to themselves, how to embody their soul, so that they can have beautiful relationship with their soulmates, with their twin flame and so on, and have a beautiful family, right? And being integrated here to this new earth society, right? The new earth marines, right? And the new earth angels here, and the new earth angelic divine luminous races, right? It's all coming online as one planet, one race, one community, with our star family, galactic family, with ETs, with their highly advanced technology, helping us with healing, with transformation, with all this cleanup, right? Cleaning the ocean, the soil, the air, the atmosphere, right? And helping us to rehabilitate our DNA, our consciousness, our hologram. So don't be afraid of the fear, but that's when you start addressing it and seeing for what it is, the emotional charge start to be diffused or totally evaporating, right? It can evaporate. And the intention is to move beyond the fear. So that's why surrendering, let go, let God, source, right? That's actually who we truly are. So instead of holding on, and just kind of all this revenge, vengeance, and this control and power over others, and just full of anger and like revenge and rage and wrath, right? How you just kind of take a deep breath, just go into your heart, into your center, This is where you reconcile. Namaste. Right? And you kind of surrender. Where you consolidate, you mobilize, and start creating something beautiful, right? Override the fear. Override the fear. The power is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you, right? Know yourself and be free. It's very important, right? The forgiveness, love yourself unconditionally, taking care of yourself. You know, I'm a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires, right? You can continue chanting. I talk about the bija mantras, you know, just start getting in touch with your energy vortexes, right? Get that energy running and spinning the proper symmetry, the proper sacred geometry, base 12 mathematics, the crystal spiral, right? Which is the 0 point, right? Compared to the fib of no chi, right? Which is finite consciousness. We wanted to go into the infinite consciousness. So with the lum, vam, ram, yam, ham, the primordial sound, right? We're sound, light, frequency, vibration, guys, right? The breath work, when the infinity spiral, see how this all forming within your brain, within your heart, and transmuting the negative ego, the shadow body, right? And feeling the pain, right? Being healed and being energized. And we're dismantling all this weaponization. We're just dismantling all these AI implants, right? All these holographic inserts, and the red wave frequency, or how those guys were hooked to that black cube technology, right? And the red trident, the neighboring military bases, the Draco Nazi Federation, right? So this is all being addressed here. And so this is a beautiful thing also from Lisa Renee, where you can actually imagine the fear as a symbol. So have a piece of paper, pen, right? We talk about PTSD, time to heal, magical things happening when you're writing things down, doing some journaling, and just kind of see your fear as a long lost friend. Start befriending your fears, right? Fears as your friends. And you can just kind of see a door on the other side, okay? And then just kind of that fear, that was your friend, and the fear was your friend, and it was giving you life experiences. It was giving you life lessons. For what was the purpose of that fear? To strengthen you, for your self-mastery, for your self-realization, being more aware and understanding your karma, right? Also understanding you know, the agenda of those negative aliens. So it's giving you knowledge, wisdom. We talk about the pearls of wisdom, okay? And you know, more and more you become self-aware, more and more you're opening the heart. So then when it's in the divine timing, it's time to open that door, right? And meet your friend, meet that fear and welcome it, right? Embrace it, right? And start talking to that fear, what the fear is asking for, right? And just imagine the fear as a child. That's you're now holding the child and you're comforting that little child, right? Because the child hasn't been taken care of. It was not time to take care of your fears, to take care of that inner child through all this direct programming, mind control, with all these proxy wars, with all this stress, with all this CCP, jab, SPE, the suppressor parasite entities, infections, right? Those guys, that's why they need to learn how to relax, how to take a pause, stop, consolidate, breathe, mobilize, and transform, right? All this darkness and integrate it back into light. And then so you welcome that fear, and because it's your learning tool for consciousness expansion. Here in this duality, it has been negatively polarized, right? And it's for your personal evolution, guys. And yeah, time to live your life. Live your life organically. That's why also in the project, right, we talk about the yoga communities, you know, the ashram, the Ayurveda diet, the cooking, right, and you know, well, doing some, you know, chanting sacred ceremonies, but also touching the ground, walking barefoot, whether on the beach or mountains, or climbing Mount Everest, going to Rishikesh, right, yoga retreats, yoga centers, Zen gardens, meditation, and so on. So time to love this fear as your own personal teacher, right? So it's there's always something to teaching you when we're facing it, right? You are demystifying and dismantling that fear. Make it your friend instead of enemy. Make it your friend. Like, okay, thank you, I'm learning so much, I'm embracing the darkness, right? I'm welcoming it through my heart. Instead of choosing vengeance, you are choosing forgiveness and compassion, right? The Kuan Yin, we have the goddess energies here, the Holy Mother, Divine Mother, and cut those cords with the Baphomet, with the Black Lilith, right? This whole black magic grid with the Azazel, with all the sorcery. And so guys, this is the time you have the courage to face the fear, and time to then reprogram, deprogram your rewire your subconscious mind, and go back into neutrality, that 0 point divine matrix, right? The source of our genesis. So you embrace it, and that's how you liberate yourself. That's how you're dismantling this karma. So from karma into dharma, right? From darkness into light, from limitation into infinity, right? In Sanskrit, asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotir gamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Okay, that's on Yana Yoga. Okay, and so the emotional charge will be cleared, right? Because usually people get triggered, right? And the emotions and the negative emotions, and when it's not being embraced, you know, it's no time to heal it, to address it, to write it down, to meditate upon it. It just bursts into something just totally demonic, right? The body's being possessed, more addictions, more drugs, more killing and raping, and you know, just wreaking havoc in the entire solar system on this planet. On the surface of the planet, these underground military bases with all this adrenochrome harvesting, and you know, children being tortured and so on. So that needs to be arrested, and we are also arresting it within the psyche of those guys, right? They were, you know, first they were the victims, and then they became the victimizers, right? The archonic deception strategy, the master-slave kind of relationship, all this tyranny and all this terror and horror, all this stuff, right? The jihad, all this terrorist organization, Hamas, jihad, Hezbollah, and so on, right? So we have to seize that from within, right? And recognize that inner conflict, that inner struggle from within, recognize it, embracing it, open the heart, right? Welcome it. And through that violet flame in action, transformation, right? The breath work, right? The breath of fire, okay? The chanting, meditation, listening to solfeggio tones. That's how you integrate it back into light. Namaste. And you become whole and complete, right? So from the negativity, the black goo, right? From all these kind of satanic forces, you know, from that black magic, right? We are going into that positive mode, and from there back into neutrality, right? Being androgynous, being autonomous, anonymous, being totally integrated, okay? It means we are serving the divine, the loved one. And yeah, that's the sense of great relief, right? It's like ecstasy that comes when you start really when no more you're facing your fear, and you're no more afraid of that fear. You transmute it. So the sexual energy, the kundalini, can start flowing properly. No more rape, right? But healing your sexuality, start, you know, energizing your chakras, your energy centers, right? Through yoga, through chanting, and then have a beautiful relationship. the sexual energy is coming back online, and this beautiful harmony or dance and music, right? The male and female energies, first heal them within yourself, and then, you know, you can have a beautiful relationship with your partner, with your soulmate, and with your twin flame, and the divine union happens, right? On that soul level, energy level, monadic level, and so on. So yeah. And yeah, so it's like you know, so starting the work, very important, so you can compile all your fears and just make a list, right? Number 1 fear, number 2, 3, and so on. And through this kind of process, slowly and surely, you can dismantle all and reconnect with the purity, beauty of your soul, of your higher self, of your oversoul, of your monad, and become the Christos avatar self with that diamond sun DNA, 12 strands of DNA coming completely online. Okay, so you become the divine luminous being. I'll talk to you next time. Many blessings and namaste, and good luck with healing. Bye-bye.